Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, the Summer Games Fest just concluded, and I gotta say, man, Jeff Keighley, why'd you waste people's time with these Twitter announcements? Like, these are announcements, like, most of these announcements were things that could have just been something that these companies just drop on Twitter. I'm sorry, this thing was pretty boring, in my opinion. There wasn't a lot of, as far as like the new game announcements, the only big new game announcement was Elden Ring. And if you're not a fan of Dark Souls type games, which I'm not really a big fan of those type of games, so that wasn't really a big reveal for me. But I know there's been a lot of people out there waiting for Elden Ring, so you got that reveal at the end. That was like the biggest thing that they showed, and possibly just like the best thing that they showed. I mean, other than that, they showed a new trailer for Monster Hunter Stories and a new trailer for Tales of Arise. Like, those three things were the biggest and probably the best things that they showed there. And that's not even saying that's not really saying much, because the whole so Jeff Keighley starts the show with Tiny Tina Wonderlands that's gonna be coming out 2022. That's a CGI trailer, and there's another thing I gotta mention. It was a lot of CGI trailers. They did show some gameplay for some of these games, but a lot of CGI trailers. But the Tiny Tina Wonderlands thing, that had already leaked, so everybody knew about that. Middle Slug Tactics. I don't think anyone was even expecting a Middle Slug game. Middle Slug, that's a great series, but that's not really something that I think a lot of people were really checking for, and I don't think that's something that a lot of people are going to be gravitating toward. Uh, and one thing I gotta say, just overall, he wasted, as far as like the pacing goes with this, man, it's terrible. It's terrible. He wasted a lot of time. Like after the Metal Slug Tactics trailer, then he did a interview with Kojima. That was a gigantic waste of time. The announcement of the Death Stranding director's cut trailer, that was just mad boring. All the character did was pick up a box and get inside the box. I guess it's supposed to be like an inside joke because Kojima, for those of y'all that don't know, Kojima made Metal Gear, so I guess that was like an inside joke. And then also Jeff Goldblum. I don't know why the heck this guy was here other than to announce uh, Jurassic World Evolution 2. That's coming out 2021. Jeff Goldblum thing was very cringe. And then we had a bunch of unnecessary musical performances. I don't think the musical performances were as long as we would normally get from the Game Awards, and I could be wrong about that, but I don't. It didn't feel as long, but I still think that that was just like waste of time because it was a lot of filler, and I feel like that was filler. Lost Ark, some game, some MMO game from Amazon games. They showed a lot of Amazon games. I don't expect Amazon to, as far as Amazon getting into the whole gaming realm. I don't think they're gonna be in the gaming business for a while. I mean, we see what has happened with Google and Stadia. So I just don't. I have no faith in it. And also, just another thing about that Lost Ark, about that trailer. The trailer music, that was a terrible music choice for that trailer. He promoted Prime Gaming, and then we have Call of Duty Warzone Season 4 trailer. Like, with a lot of these, I could say just like overall, I don't think, I honestly can't say that this show had something for everybody, because I kind of feel like a lot of the games only appeal to certain just to basically like certain audiences. But I really don't feel comfortable saying that this show really showed us a bunch of games that can appeal to just everybody, you know. But we got that Call of Duty Season 4 trailer. Then they talked about the competitive Call of Duty scene. And then why the heck did they promote Ryan Reynolds? So they had Ryan Reynolds promoting Free Guy, and we got a new trailer for that. And I'm just like, yo, we didn't come here for movie trailers. We came here for games. So that's a waste. We had a new Among Us trailer, and that showed off some new stuff. And then we had the head of PlayStation Indies talking about some new indie games. one of which being Salt and Sacrifice, a sequel to Salt and Sanctuary. That's that Dark Souls style 2D platformer type thing. Um, we had the new Solar Ash trailer. I will say this: Solar Ash, I believe that's by the same guy that did Hyper Light Drifter. I have much respect for that guy because Hyper Light Drifter was made in Game Maker. Um, so new Solar Ash trailer, that like it looks cool. Like Solar Ash, it looks cool, but that trailer was too short. Like I want to see more. I want to see more gameplay. But like I said, it looks cool. And then after that, they showed Chivalry 2. I'll just say this: that's not my type of game, so I'm not gonna trash on it. But listen, that's not my type of game. They showed a very short Valorant tease, and that's another thing, man. There was a lot of there. I would say there was a lot of announcements that were just like a few seconds long. It was just little short stuff. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, I'm like, okay, a lot of this is just Twitter announcements. Like, don't just waste people's time. They just waste people's time with this stuff. And let's see, they showed some shooting game trailer after that. I think it was I forgot what it's called. Listen, at a certain point in this, so at a certain point during this, I just started messing around with my phone, started doing other stuff, started playing Guilty Gear, started, uh, eating. I got something to eat. Man, I just started doing other stuff. Promote. So they started promoting Netflix game. Can't even speak right now. They started promoting Netflix Geek Week, Smite, Stranger Things crossover. Don't care about Smite. They announced a new publisher, Prime Matter, and that's another thing that Jeff Keighley did throughout this. He basically announced, what was it, one publisher and one developer. He might have published another developer. He might have announced another developer, but I know he announced one publisher, Prime Matter, and then the other one was, I think it was Deviation Games, something like that. But so they showed a new publisher, Prime Matter. They showed a montage of games, including Payday 3, and and then they also announced Painkiller. They talked about another Amazon game called New World. Rocket League, Fast and Furious trailer. They have a crossover with Fast and Furious. I don't get the appeal. I really don't get the appeal of Rocket League. Uh, Trailer for developer Shark Mobs multiplayer game set in the Vampire Masquerade universe. That's going to be coming out later this year. They showed a new Tales of Arise trailer. You know, at this point when I was watching that trailer, I'm like, this is like the best thing that they showed so far by default. Um, Overwatch 2, we had some skins for Overwatch 2. Paladins. Do people still play Paladins? We have a crossover for Paladins with that anime Genlock that I believe Michael B. Jordan was part of. We got Monster Hunter Stories trailer. It kind of seemed to me, and I could be wrong about this because I haven't seen every single Monster Hunter trailer, but it didn't seem like it showed a lot of new stuff. And I'm not. I should say this also. I'm not like somebody who's really into Monster Hunter. You know, this is gonna be my first Monster Hunter Stories game, or I should say my first Monster Hunter game. Period. Once I picked that up. So if they did show some new stuff, then cool. But it didn't look like they showed a lot of new stuff in terms of that story trailer. And then after that, they had the Weezer musical performance. And then they showed this thing called Endless Dungeon, which apparently premiered at TGA. And I don't remember them. I don't remember Jeff showing this game at the Game Awards, but apparently he showed it. And then we had the Far Cry 6 interview with Carlo Esposito. He's like, out of everyone, I would say like out of all the interviews, his interview was probably the most entertaining. He seemed like the most natural one out of everybody that Jeff was talking to, and that chick that plays Tiny Tina. Yeah, so I think as far as like the interview goes, I think at least Carlo, at least that was kind of interesting. Well, I won't say that the game itself, because like I said, when I did that video talking about Far Cry 6, yeah, that's not doing anything for me. But as far as Carlo Esposito, at least that was more entertaining than the other people that he had up there. Deviation Games, like I mentioned before, he announced that developer, Deviation Games, and their partnership, and then they have a partnership with PlayStation. And then we got the Sonic Unleashed musical performance, which kind of seems kind of random, but I guess because of the whole Sonic anniversary thing. Back for Blood. They showed a trailer for that. I don't care for that game. I don't care. I didn't care about Left 4 Dead, so I don't care about Back for Blood. They showed a little bit of Tunic gameplay, and then Evil Dead gameplay. Never watch Evil Dead. That's not my thing. And then finally we had Elden Ring at the end. And we got the release date for Elden Ring, January 22nd, 2022. I honestly wasn't expecting Elden Ring. I wasn't expecting to see that anywhere, whether it be here or E3 2021. E3 2021. So, but as far as Elden Ring goes, I wasn't like super impressed by what I saw. I mean, once again, I'm not into those like Dark Souls type of games, or at least the ones that From Software makes. But I will say this: it looks, as far as like graphically, it looks a lot better than pretty much everything that we saw today. And it looks like a more narrative focused Dark Souls. I know a lot of like I don't want to come up here to say Dark Souls doesn't have a story, because I know a lot of people say that Dark Souls has a really deep story. You just gotta read the lore and everything. But this seems like more narrative focused, and it kind of reminds me of like Lord of the Rings, like Middle Earth type thing. Like if they can make it more accessible and kind of more focused on magic, and it kind of seemed like we saw a bit of magic there and there. I mean, I don't know. As far as From Software type games, like I would love to give this a try, but I have a feeling I just wouldn't like it, because I didn't like the other type of games that they put out. But yeah, Elden Ring, for those people that were looking forward to it, y'all got that. But overall, I thought that this whole presentation, it was boring. It was poorly paced. It didn't have games for just everybody, and I honestly just almost pretty much checked out at a certain point. Overall, this was just a boring waste of time. A lot of this stuff could have been dropped on Twitter, and that's pretty much my thoughts on this thing. So let me know what you guys thought about this presentation. Like the video, subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace.